Neal Atkinson from BetSaracen's joining us every Friday. Good afternoon, Neal. Happy Golden Hour and happy last weekday before the Super Bowl, which, we'll joke sometimes it's a national holiday, but certainly for the sports betting industry, it's not just a holiday, it is the holiday.
Yeah, I might start something with here. Maybe we can get an executive order to move it to Saturday so we can enjoy our Sunday instead of having to get up Monday morning and go to work after watching the Super Bowl and celebrating. But, hey, that's a debate for another day.
Yeah, well, we see the Chiefs minus 1.5 on the BetSaracen app. I'd read earlier this morning that ESPN Bet had the game as a pick'em. So to me, this goes right to the heart of something we've spoken about before, is that because BetSaracen is limited just to inside the state of Arkansas, you got a lot of Chiefs fans that are putting money on the Chiefs.
Oh, absolutely, and I've got great examples of local bias, and but the point spread is interesting this year when you look at the number of bets that have made, but where the bigger money has gone. So here's an example of local bias. Nationwide, on the handle, the money, 48% is on the Chiefs, 52% are on the Eagles on the point spread, and I've combined 1.5 and 2.5 because that's mainly where it has been. On BetSaracen, only 43% of the handle is on the Chiefs, and 57% is on the Eagles. But listen to this: 59% of the tickets are on Kansas City. So we've got more bets on Kansas City, but we've got more of the bigger money on the Eagles on BetSaracen, which I have not seen before for a Kansas City game, and I thought that was pretty interesting. And then when you go to the money line, here is a big flip. Nationwide on the money line, 24% of the money is on Kansas City, and 76% is on the Eagles. However, on BetSaracen, 59% of the handle is on the Chiefs, and 41% is on Philadelphia. So that just to show you regionally here, we've got a lot of Chiefs fans around here, and but I thought it was interesting, kind of bucking the trend that we've had on BetSaracen, with 57% of the money is on the Chiefs. Is on Philadelphia against the spread. And like I said, I have not seen that in a long time against the Kansas City Chiefs. But the recreational players, the smaller bettors, they're definitely back in Kansas City on BetSaracen.
Okay, that's where I was going to go with it, and you just used the term recreational bettors. When you're talking about, and I think you pointed this out before, on when the line will move, it's not necessarily the amount of money that might be placed on one team or another. It's who's putting the money on that team and the kind of reputation that person has. So the word you use there is recreational bettors. That means the professional bettors, the ones who make their living off of this. They're taking the Eagles.
Yep, that's what they're doing, and that's kind of like what they call smart money. And of course, every book has a different definition for it depending on what they weight. And if you go to the over and under, nationwide, 73% is on the over and 27% is on the under. Well, the smart money is going on the under on this game. It currently is at 48.5. I think it was opened up at 49.5. But if we look at the Super Bowl 2 years ago, what was it? 38 to 35 was the score. So that's 72 points in a Super Bowl, which is a lot. So if we have a repeat of 2 years ago, I'm going to be as sad as I was 2 years ago because boy, we took it on the chin when the Chiefs won that game in the high-scoring affair.
Can you piece together the various prop bets into a parlay for the Super Bowl on Sunday?
The prop bets that are under the main market is like when you click on the Kansas City and the Chiefs games, all of those that have the little SGP icon beside them, you can put those in a parlay. If it does not have that SGP logo, it's because of the correlation. You cannot. The majority of what we have on the site, you will be able to SGP. And just make sure you hit that all button to see everything that's available on there. The specials that we do, a lot of those will not be because we have boosted the odds and they're special odds, and those are what we call the exotics or the novelty bets. Those you typically cannot combine just because of the correlation effect on self-created content that's not part of the the usual menu. So it's more of a technological thing with the mathematical computations, with the novelty bets on the Super Bowl versus things that are tied to official NFL stats. So that's really the difference between that on what you can and can't put in a parlay, since we only have one football game to bet on Sunday.
Yeah, and you guys have done a really good job. That SGP button is right there for you to see when you click on the link for the actual Super Bowl itself, not to the championship game specials, but to the game itself. You can see the money line, the spread, total points, Eagles team total, Chiefs team total, all has that SGP button, along with touchdown scores, passing yards, passing touchdowns, and the longest passing completion. Those are the ones you can put a parlay on for. But as far as the championship game specials, I mean, this is really, I would imagine, this is where a lot of people kind of take the entertainment value of it, because it's all stuff that's from kickoff to the last play of regulation. About everything.
Yeah, we've even got overtime scenarios done, and we've got a fun few ones, and there's a few of them that I've got picked out here. And heck, I'll throw a couple at you, and you tell me if you're in or out on some of these, and I'll give you the odds. And the beautiful thing about this is that sometimes the Super Bowl, there are people that have not made a bet all year long, but they will bet on the Super Bowl. And the neat thing about some of these novelty preps, you don't have to know a thing about either one of these teams. You can have a fun bet. You can put as little as $1 on it, and a lot of these have some fun payout. Are you going to clean us out and be able to win the lottery? Well, if you put the right parlay together, you might. But just make sure you keep it fun and you keep it entertaining. You ready for me to throw a couple of these at you?
Shoot, let's see what I got here.
Well, the first one is the hardest prop bet that we've got on the board. Will the coin toss be heads or tails?
I'm always told that tails never fails. I don't know what I would rhyme with head, so I'm just going to say tails.
He's going to go with tails. And the neat thing about that one is that one will be settled before the game even kicks off. So
That's right.
You can actually win money on the Super Bowl before they actually start the game. Now, here's one that's just interesting, and, of course, this one gives me a Maylocks moment from 2 years ago. Will the score repeat? Kansas City Chiefs 38, Philadelphia Eagles 35. That's what it was 2 years ago. Pays 250 to 1. Is that a buy or a sell, that bet?
That's a sell. I mean, I'd like to think that you might be lucky in some cases because of the plus. I saw plus 25,000 when I checked that one out this morning.
Yeah.
But I don't think both. I think the game will end up in the high 20s. I don't see it getting into the 30s, at least not for both teams.
Yeah, I see that one too. How about will any kickoff be returned for a touchdown?
Now, I mean, I don't even know how many kickoffs have been returned for a touchdown throughout the season. Just really not enough of them for me to think that you're going to have one happen in the one game we're playing this Sunday.
Well, you got to remember, when these odds are this long, it's not supposed to happen in the game. That's why we put the odds on them. But it can happen. That one is plus 2,000 or 20 to 1. So that's what that one is. Okay. How about any punt to be returned for a touchdown?
Now that one I think I could see happening. It's just a matter of the punts, and we have so many teams going for it on fourth down now. I guess it depends on where you are in the field for that to happen.
Well, if you buy that one, you're going to get 13 to 1 on your money. Will the Super Bowl? Yeah, and this is only can happen in the Super Bowl. This is the only game. I think the championship games that can happen. The championship during the playoffs that can happen. Can any game go to? Will it go to double overtime? 40 to 1.
That means it has to go past 10 minutes in overtime, right? Because you're still playing with the same sort of overtime rules, which would mean a 10-minute period. No, I don't think that'll happen either. But I wouldn't be surprised if this game does go into overtime. Really, is there a prop just for it to go to overtime, just for the first overtime period?
Yeah, I think there is. It's somewhere because you can do the three-way market for just the regular time, and you can get that one. I'll have to search that one out.
Neal, I'll tell you a couple of them here that really stand out to me, and it's because of how some of these Chiefs games have ended. Mm-hmm. Last play of regulation would be a game-winning field goal, or the Eagles win on a walk-off field goal. You know, it's plus 900, plus 1,600 in those terms. And here's one that I would imagine is getting a lot of play for you just because of the narrative around the officiating and how it's supposedly favoring the Chiefs. There's a prop bet for the Super Bowl, roughing the passer against the Eagles. Yes, plus 175. No, minus 225. And I think they're going to be chasing him around quite a bit. My answer here would be yes.
Well, you know why we put those out, because it is topical and part of the discussion. So that was the reason why we selected that one also, too. So we really do like that one.
That's great. What was you got any more you want to test me on?
Well, the doink bet, yes. And you're only going to get 5-1 on your money on that one, but will there be a doink?
That means a doink is a missed field goal that bangs off. Now, so here's a question. What if it hits the crossbar and not an upright? That
is considered a doink. Now, we've got another market that will go into detail where you can pick the method of it's not just the doink. It's on a missed field goal. You can pick whether it would hit the left upright, the right upright. Will it be right, wide left, wide right? Will it be short? Will it hit the crossbar? We've even got a market where you can pick the method of the doink or the method of the miss. But if you just want to go that there's a doink that it hits the upright, and that means it hits any of the uprights or the crossbar and does not go in, that will be considered a doink.
Man, I was looking on the app here. I see 442 is the number that's listed underneath the Super Bowl game for more wagers. 442 separate wagers available for the Super Bowl on BetSaracen. Big number.
Well, that's just the markets, and then the selections under each one of those markets. It's almost 2,000 different selections you can make on the Super Bowl.
Wow, that's wild. Before we go, what were either of these teams' record against the spread this year? If you can pull that up.
You give me if I can stall for like 30 seconds, I think I can tell you that.
Go ahead. You can go ahead and stall, and while you do that, I'll remind everybody that we're broadcasting live right now on the Hit That Line Now app. If you're listening on any of our affiliates, our 4 radio affiliates inside our listening audience, you might be listening online at hitthatline.com. All of our shows, it's all mobile for you. You don't even have to download any other app, just the Hit That Line Now app. You can hear all of our local shows. You can view all of the shows, even download all the podcasts right there in one handy app. Hit That Line Now app, downloadable for anywhere that you can download an app. It's brought to you by Taco Bell, where you can satisfy your daytime cravings with the Cantina Chicken menu lineup today. Was that enough time, Neal? You need any more?
Oh, yeah. I've got it right here. Okay, this year, against the spread, the Kansas City Chiefs were 8-10. On the over and under, they were 8-11. Now, the last 5, they were 3-2 against the spread. The Eagles were 13-7 against the spread this year, and they were 9-11 on the over and under. With their last 5 games, they were 4-1, which includes all the playoff games, 4-1 against the spread. So the Eagles, on that stat, have the edge. And my last simulation that I just ran, I don't pick the games. I can just tell you what you can bet, not how to bet. The projected score that I have on my consensus is Kansas City Chiefs 26, Philadelphia Eagles 27, and that is a computer simulation. So it on paper, this looks like it's going to be a classics, one for the books, kind of like it was 2 years ago with such a high-scoring affair.
Sounds like a potential game-winning field goal on the very last play of regulation, but we'll find out in just a couple of days. Neal,
and there's a bet, and you can make that bet.
That's right. So, there's a couple of different ways to do it. We'll talk about it next week, too, Neal. It'll be the end of football season, though, so one single tear can go down my cheek for that.
All right. And, hey, and baseball starts next Friday, too, so that's going to be nice. So Arkansas baseball, so we're going to be happy with that. But anyway, hey, everybody, make sure you keep your sports betting this weekend with the basketball, UFC, and the Super Bowl. Bet with your head and not over it. Keep it fun and entertaining. Bet within your means. If you don't have the app downloaded and you want to see all of this plus more of what we talked about, get it downloaded today and now and registered. Don't wait before the game because you've got to verify a little bit of information and get registered before we can start taking your bets. But you can have a lot of fun, and almost all of these bets you can bet as little as $1. And check out some of the promos on the promo page. Opt in for them and have some fun this weekend, and good luck on all your parlays.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football to NBA, college basketball to NHL and UFC, BetOnline is your number one sports betting source for the new year. From every touchdown to three-pointer and hat trick, BetOnline has you covered with odds, stats, and more for every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here.